Blessed woman, and welcome to the World of Tech. This is VGA, right? This is smtvs.com, right? And this is the virtual intelligent cloud lab. So you're looking at a picture right now. It's cube computer processing, right? The 3D cube. Okay, let's first, before we get into the technical stuff, let's give you guys a mere update on the server, on the new system and everything. And today is what, Friday, people? Is it so? And Monday, we purchased a server, right? You know, I don't know, we don't get another server. You know, the last words that I had to dispatch to support was, if you guys don't get my thing together, I think you should terminate both of my web service from your organization. This is when corporate talking up in the high spaces. Get people standing up. The whole nonsense, people. Okay. You keep ignoring my argument to consolidate both sides together. So you don't do it, and you're still working on the server. I'm like, okay. So since you're doing that, I'm not all that jumping, say, because maybe the little $2 and thing you have to kind of give back to smtvs.com or run it back into the new account and things like that. I've been thinking that, and I'm like, well, it's like you're running far from doing that. Anyway, I said, let's go ahead and get our new service up and everything. Okay. From one thing to the other, people. Now the SSH to be installed into the system. These people are just saying, oh, you can use this, oh, you can do that. You don't send a direct information to me. So you're testing my freaking intelligence. You know what I mean? I hate when these people, corporate people up there, I don't know if it's a culture situation, I don't know that we in Jamaica, you try to test our intelligence down here. You know? Anyhow, go up on the server. All right, we configure the firewall. You give me port 22. I put in port 22. Be an error, nothing now happen. We get more furious and write them. And threaten again to bestow it. I get up this morning. I see you send me, Vaughn, you can use port 1394. And before I did that, I traveled over back to the old C panel. And I go to the SSH. And I look for SMTVS secure key. And I copy the key. And I go back to them and I'll say, then the key is over here the whole time. Yes, you're trying to send me now a bloodlet continuous loop of support ticket and telling me to go get Purdy or whatever one you call it on the web to get a generator to generate this key and all this while the key was generated at smtvs.com. I just decided, tell my partner, this is what I'm going to do, you know. This is what I'm going to do. Me, I go get the key from smtvs.com. Me, I go back over the administration. Me, I go redo the server from top and make a new key. We're going, and I made the new key. I go back over to server installation, yeah? And because if you need to put anything in, you have to rewrite the whole server operation. I decided, tell my partner, hell with this. Everything back again from brand new. So I go back in the place, and I look in the list, and I see the new key. I select the new key. You know what I mean? I had to save my original password. I grabbed those passwords. I put them in the password slot. You understand? I went over to dbrain, the dbrain server operation system. I selected the right version that I want. I rewrite the server. Then they're going to send me a mail telling me to do that, right? Oh, God have mercy on my soul. So the whole time, you could have already told me or sent to me just the information that I need to do that, right? Straight off the back. But you tested my intelligence, so I guess I have to just jump out after I tell my partner, I'm fed up of these people. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what my brain say, because my brain is still a technical brain. So I take my tech head and go over there and figure it out for myself, right? And then they're going to tell me to do that. Now, the nerve of these people now to try to wrap my blouse and skirt, to try to send me now back to smtvs.com cpanel to utilize the terminal there. You understand? When my partner said, Van, check this, man. They're trying to lock you into a perpetual loop in the blouse and skirt cpanel and intentionally blocking your route from you seeing the actual route server. You see what I want, people? And they don't know why my little partner there is saying, Van, watch this. La, 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 la. Lay, 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 lay. And I'm like, okay. No, boss. I go address this with them. I'm like, yo, you have my blouse and skirt my route locked down through this bloodlead terminal. Yo, we don't want this, Send me the terminal, the real terminal. And we sit down and I discuss with my partner. You know, when I started out in computer programming, I started out using a CLI. It was never a program. I had to go on the CLI and enter command to create windows and scream and stuff like that. You guys and any real programmers out there know right now what I'm talking about. We use CLI programming. And through the CLI, you can create a whole program. And it just creates it, and you could go to the site. So I said to my partner, we can use the terminal, and we can create the website and then go back to the site and call what we just did from a terminal over there and start working on the site and even get inside. But the fact that these people are trying to use a sandbox to arbitrarily lock me out of my thing, man. Man, they must send back to them and say, yeah, man, you better send the real thing. You understand me, David? Let's talk about all this. For them to wrap my new server under a cpanel, is that so they can have control, so they can do data mining. Why we talked about that just a few minutes ago, we made a sniffer program. That sniffer program, damn security we have like clad land security for my thing. You send anything to try to sniff into my program, you try to do data mining, we'll cut you off. There will be no data mining on my network. Full security, full sovereign nation that they are getting. You see everything up here on this chart? I am actually doing that. Now cube processing, we are doing that. But we are in the virtual world doing this in the virtual world. We figured out how to do all this stuff in the virtual world and figure out how we're going to connect it back to the real machine. And we figured out why in Silicon Valley them a blouse and skirt stuck up a portion of blood clot chip to make one thing. When me tell my partner, I'm not even going to reveal it on here. Well, I tell my partner what the real key is to that. And you can use a regular processor. And what was the key that they needed to do to not really build? What, they're going to build a processor till it reach all the way out of the machine? And where we going to put all these processors, man? They had them spread out on boards, flat all over the place. Now they decide they're going to shrink them together. They're still going on a dumb road. Anyway, this is smtvs.com. And the new program up on the block, the new scientists were rocked from Jamaica. You understand? And they ought to know. We chopping through corporate loops and let these guys deliver the real thing. A matter of fact, when they messed up everything, they sort of went boom and made SMTVS like a virtual server itself, like what we turn the SMTVS now in a dedicated server. But check this, people. What they did, they just did a little electronic stuff, make it seem like SMTVS got a virtual server. It's a virtual nonsense. When I flipped back and said, hey, what is this? This is not what I ordered. Give me the brain system. They had to go back and go do some installation that they really had to hook up the real server. Because he was trying to draw a sheet over my eye, try to send me electronic bullshit. You understand? So now when the real server come online, the first one come with a C panel. But when the real one come, it no carry C panel, people. A real server don't have C panel. You'll have to install that. But once a man give you a server with a C panel, I'll be electronic thing in my gear. You understand? And right down to the point that you still did some more other stuff, that we still get the server, yes, but you still have that part of the stuff hooked up on my server, you know. And why should I go to the terminal inside that unless this terminal, and we don't, they go to me this morning, oh yeah, you have two service vans. One don't have a panel and one have a panel. So if one don't have a panel and one have a panel, the one who don't have a panel, we need to see the CLI. If we don't even see the root folder, give me a CLI window. Because once I go into the CLI, I will link the root folder and will send files to the root folder and go back to the .com and call it and log in and see our new setup. They don't know what time lick them. So yes, hope every you guys there. You know, we're talking a lot of stuff this morning on the blog. Old people, these corporate guys in their carpet bubble thing. I'm not going to go as far as saying that it's a cultural type of thing. But sometimes it's also a cultural type of thing. Because if you're aware that you're talking to somebody from Jamaica, you're aware you're talking to a Jamaican. And obviously a Jamaican must be a black man. And obviously you might think you're smarter than a black man. And I don't think so. The age of the arbitrarily ways of them who figure they are much smart is an inheritable flaw. Because we was always smart. You took people that had culture, that had history, that had technology, that had science, that had religion, that had creative power, and enslave them and subdue them and wipe away everything that they know, that the following generation that comes after will have to start learning from a clean slate. But the future is knocking at your door, and technology is going to break all on down. Remember, SMTV stands for the people, and the people will surely know that. Our technology, our instrument that we will create for our technology, we are adopting everybody's technology. See, when I sit down and I research about the cube 3D cube programming, right? And the quantum ECI people, okay? And the virtual ASDI, that is my creation. Okay, that's my chip creation. It's a form of a chip. You understand, in virtual processing. See, it's a virtual processing. Them two at the top work together. You understand? And them two over the side there, so the ECI, the 3D cube, the virtual processor, the hypervelocity, VRASDI. All on the big guys. And you hear the name? That's why we are make a lock network. No sniffers. No data mining. You want me new data? When I create? After me I study phone data? You understand? We have to come to our partner. Thank you, people, and I hope you guys feeling good up here. This is SMTVS.com. They're rocking our wheel. We always say when something good going to happen, they send obstacles in the way. And just say, obstacles in the way. Jah make we stronger every day. I bless you.